now tuning in to the story of Earth Angel by iCreateStories.com, narrated and created by Dala. In the busy town of Kingston on the island of Jamaica, there stood a quaint home with a beautiful front yard in 1846. The field surrounding it was filled with vibrant green grass that swayed gently in the warm breeze. In the midst of the warm scene, 7-year-old Sarah ran around and played, her curly brown hair bouncing alongside her. Her big brown eyes were full of excitement as she wore her bright yellow sundress that perfectly matched the flowers in the field. Suddenly, her mother's voice called out from the porch, calling her inside. Sarah! Sarah! Baby, come here, please. Sarah bounded towards the porch, her feet kicking up bits of dirt and grass as she ran. Her mother stood at the door, smiling warmly at her daughter. It's time to come in and eat, baby. Sarah's mother had smooth, deep brown skin that shimmered under the golden Jamaican sun. She was dressed in a nurse smock layered over a vibrant floral dress, and her hair was neatly pinned into a bun with a few soft curls framing her face. She took Sarah by the hand and led her inside. As they walked through the hallway, Sarah's gaze landed on 3 ill soldiers sitting in their waiting room. But her eyes were naturally drawn to a picture of a handsome Caucasian soldier hanging on the wall. Mommy, when is Daddy coming home? Sarah asked innocently. Her mother guided her to the kitchen table before answering with a smile. I don't know, baby. Hopefully soon. As Sarah's mother set a plate of food in front of her, she reminded her daughter to say grace before mixing herbal remedies and oils for her patients. The kitchen was filled with the fragrant scents of spices and herbs as Sarah's mother worked on her concussions. The air was further enriched by the delicious aromas of cooking food and the enticing smells of roasted meat and savory vegetables. Sarah followed her mother's instructions, closed her eyes, and bowed her head in prayer. Amen, she murmured softly. As Sarah's mother tended to a sick soldier in the waiting room, she handed him some form of medicine and instructed him to take it for the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, Sarah wandered into the room for a hug from her mother. Mommy, are you almost done? Sarah asked eagerly. Her exhausted mother hugged her tightly and looked at the door after hearing a knock. Almost, baby, almost, she reassured her before answering the door. Curious Sarah followed behind. Sarah's mother stepped out onto the porch, and her tired eyes meeting the sharp, stern gaze of the British Army general. He stood tall and proper, his uniform crisp and pressed, with a noticeable weight on his shoulders and a desperate request. We could really use your expertise, the general explained to her. On the front line? Her mother responded, her nerves evident in her voice. He persisted. Think about it. It pays really well, and your family will be well cared for. The general started to walk away as Sarah's mother contemplated his offer. I'm not saying yes, but I'll think about it, she told him firmly. After a day of much deliberation, Sarah's mother finally made her decision. She emerged from her house, dressed in layers and carrying a few bags for her extended stay, her eyes red and puffy from tears, but she put on a brave face as she gave sweet kisses to Sarah on the porch. It was time for her to leave for her nursing job in the war, a noble sacrifice that would keep her away from home for an unknown amount of time. As she walked away, Sarah's Nana, with her gentle smile and wrinkled hands, came over and took her granddaughter's hand. Together they watched Sarah's mother walk away from the house, leaving behind an empty space in their hearts. From a distance, her mother turned around and said, I'll be back soon as I can. I love you. Sarah's heart sank as she watched her mother disappear down the road. She wrapped her arms around her Nana's stomach for comfort. Her Nana took Sarah's hand, leading her inside with a comforting warmth. The world outside seemed daunting and uncertain, but in Nana's embrace, everything felt safe and familiar. After a couple of hours, Sarah finally mustered the courage to venture out onto the porch again. Her Nana sat in a creaky old wooden rocking chair, leisurely puffing on a handmade pipe filled with fragrant marijuana. The rough aroma of the smoke enveloped her, mixed with the scent of freshly bloomed flowers from the garden. Nana was an elderly woman. Her dark complexion and deep wrinkles told the story of a life well lived. She wore a long house gown, faded with worn from the years of use, and her dusty sandals had seen better days. Her long dreadlocks were neatly braided and pulled back into a ponytail. As Sarah approached, she could see the glimmer of calmness in her Nana's eyes and a shiny unk charm around her neck. The sounds of birds chirping and the distant voices filled the air as Sarah leaned against her Nana, finding solace in the gentle rocking of the chair. As she sat down on the porch step, her cat Ginger limped over and curled up beside her with a weak body. As Sarah sat on the front porch, her fingers gently stroking her cat's fur, she played a nurse role. "So what seems to be the problem, Susu?" she asked in a soft voice. The tabby cat purred contentedly and closed his eyes as Sarah ran her hand over his head. Just then, Sarah's Nana called out, telling her to go play and leave the sick cat alone. But Sarah couldn't resist tending to her furry companion. She continued to gently rub his stomach, trying to figure out what was wrong. "Sarah, you hear me?" Suddenly, the cat lifted its head and hopped on all fours, seeming completely healed. There, Susu," she explained with a smile as the cat ran off the porch and into the yard. Her Nana looked on in amazement as Sarah chased after the playful feline. Later that night, as her Nana tucked her into bed and hummed a special tune, Sarah couldn't help but ask when her parents would come back home. "I miss Daddy and Mommy," she said with a hint of sadness in her voice. "Well, baby, I'm hoping soon," her nanny replied with a comforting smile. "I know you want them here, and they miss you too." Then she paused and asked how the cat had suddenly gotten better. "I fixed him. He's better now," Sarah proudly declared. But, her Nana started to say before Sarah interrupted. "Mama told me I'm special too," she explained. "She said to always try to help people." "Oh, yes, you are special, baby. Nana loves you." "I love you too, Nana," Sarah called out after her. With a contented sigh, she closed her eyes and her cat jumped onto the bed to snuggle with her. One year later, the golden light of the sunset poured through the windows, casting a warm glow over the kitchen where Sarah and her Nana sat at the table enjoying their dinner. After a while, there was a loud knock at the door, causing Nana to get up and answer it while Sarah continued eating. After a moment, Nana walked back into the room, tears streaming down her face, and she clutched a letter in her hand. Sarah's heart leaped in her chest as she saw her grandmother crying. "Nana, Nana, what's wrong?" She rushed over to her side, concerned. "It's okay, Nana, don't cry." Sarah tried to comfort her, but then Nana uttered the words that shattered Sarah's world. "I'm sorry, sweetheart, but Mommy is gone. She won't be coming back." Sarah's eyes welled up with tears as she tried to make sense of the news. Sarah's mother had been fatally shot while tending to injured soldiers on the battlefield. What, what do you mean? How?" she asked, trying to make sense of it all. Her Nana could only cry harder. "Come here, sweetie, come here." But before she could reach out to hug Sarah, the young girl turned and ran out the room in shock and grief. "Sarah!" her Nana called after her, but she couldn't catch up. Suddenly, thunder rumbled outside and the rain began to pour down hard. The back door slammed shut behind Sarah as she ran off into the stormy night, along with her thoughts and emotions. With each step, Sarah felt more and more lost and alone. The lightning flashed and the thunder roared around her as she ran out into a nearby field, her sobs bleeding in with the sound of the storm. Her Nana stood outside, straining to see through the sheets of rain. She called out desperately for Sarah, her voice barely audible over the howling winds. As she walked farther into the field, the winds grew stronger and more violent. She fell to her knees, unable to get any closer to Sarah, but Sarah sat in the middle of the field, crying uncontrollably. but seemingly unaffected by the raging elements around her. Her Nana screamed her name again. Suddenly, Sarah lifted up her head, and in an instant, the winds died down. Nana is able to stand up now and rush towards Sarah, scooping her up and carrying her back to the warm and safe home. In Sarah's bedroom, Nana removed Sarah's wet clothes and put her on some dry clothes before leaving to change hers. Sarah laid on the bed feeling despondent and heartbroken. Her Nana returned with a clean t-shirt and joined her on the bed, wrapping her in her loving arms and kissing her head tenderly. "I know you're hurting, baby," she whispered. "I am too." They lay there together for a while, finding solace in each other's embrace amidst the storm slowly dying down. Thank you for listening to The Story Earth Angel by iCreateStories.com. I appreciate your time, and if you enjoyed this story, please like. Also, think about subscribing to the Storytelling Podcast, where you can enjoy new stories every weekend. Again, thank you for tuning in to iCreateStories.com.